Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get. Oh, we're already open for business, and the football gods are already awake. Um, this is the time of the year where teams begin to start jockeying for position. Um, and what seems to be a rite of passage for the Washington Redskins is uh, they sign big name free agents, hold on to them for 2 or 3 years, and then end up cutting them in cap reduction and continue to make the big splashes. We've seen the Albert Hainsworth. We've seen the Deion Sanders. We've seen Donovan McNabbs and Alex Smiths. And I mean, you can just go down the litany of guys that always seem to be signed by the Redskins only to not succeed. And today, Josh Norman and Paul Richardson, along with two others, have been cut by the Washington Redskins in moves, of course, that you know will lead to the Redskins making a big splash in free agency. Um, the thing that you have to understand is when you look at the Redskins that have always been the team that signed the big name free agents, have been the offseason champions, that that's all it ends up being. Very rarely do big free agent signings lead to Super Bowls. Now, there are the occasional Reggie Whites that ended up being what brought the Packers back, but more times than not, they're the Albert Hainsworths that 2 years down the road, you got to cut that guy because he's just too much money and you haven't won much with him. Now, I know Peyton Manning ended up bringing a Super Bowl to Denver, but like I said, those are few and far between. Free agency needs to be used as a tool to supplement your roster, to fill some holes as a stopgap, but does not replacing the one thing that you must be able to do to be able to compete on a consistent basis, and that is to draft well. New England's got it down to a science where they understand that it's not about signing those big name free agents. It's about filling in a few pieces here and there and getting role players and drafting guys young and getting them playing early. And when they become a star, you let them go because when you let them go, you're not paying that premium number. But what you're getting is another draft pick to replace it. How crazy was it that last year's draft that the Super Bowl champion had 12 draft picks, tied for first amount of draft picks in the NFL the next year? It's almost unfair, but you can't blame them for being ones that draft well. And I dare say, when you look at the last two drafts, Tony Pollard was really good for us. But other than that, you did not get an immediate impact from the draft. You could look at the year before. Van Der Esch was pretty good. Actually, Van Der Esch was really good. But beyond that, you didn't get that big, Zach Martin influx of talent, that Zeke Elliott, that Dak Prescott. And that, my friends, is where we must succeed this year. We need, with as many holes as we're going to have on that defense, I believe it's going to be a defensive heavy draft because I believe the philosophy is changing in styles of defense. We need to go ahead and get that big defensive lineman that's going to be a run stopper. We need to get that ball hawking safety, and we're going to need to get another corner in there. By all measures, it sounds like Byron Jones has gone bye-bye. He's stopped following the Dallas Cowboys and things. And you hear all the speculation. Now, I will caution everybody on this, but be careful of everything that you hear right now because teams aren't technically allowed to talk to other teams about players that they're wanting to get until the 16th of March when legal tampering begins. You'll hear all kinds of ideas and rumors and speculations that are from people outside of the organizations. Just like you heard significant people were talking about Dak Prescott, being traded and Tom Brady being signed by the Cowboys. Yeah, that's all that is speculation. You're hearing, of course, speculation that Tom Brady is going to go to San Diego, to the Raiders, to Tampa Bay, and everything else. Again, it's just speculation. There is nothing that you can really say right now is a definite on anybody other than Josh Norman's been cut by the Redskins. So we're going to keep watch. We'll see how this all plays out. And I had an interesting conversation recently. The thing you have to understand is this, and this is where people keep saying, well, Dak Prescott should just be satisfied and take a team friendly deal. You know, he should do what he can for the team. Understand that every player out there is an independent contractor, that the team has no allegiance to that guy. If that team can find somebody that does your job better or for less money, hey, we love you and all that, but bye. Because when a player outplays his contract, very rarely the team say, you know what, we want to take care of you because you did so well for us. No. And this is nothing new, because I remember this Redskin player, I can't remember his name offhand, but he played for the Colts, I believe. And he had went to the Colts before the season and said, hey, you know, I've been playing better than what you're paying me. And they told him, well, I tell you what, you have a great season right now. This year, we'll turn around and we'll go ahead and take care of you. At the end of the season, they ended up beating the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Newspaper article saying that they could not have won without the play of him. He goes to the GM and says, hey, how about that new contract? He said, we don't negotiate contracts. And that's when he left them, and he went to the Redskins. Emmitt Smith, after winning the Super Bowl, being the key cog to the position, had to hold out the first 2 games of the season to get his money. It's the way it is. And it's always shedded that the players are greedy, that they want more than their share, and that they're not looking out for the team. But, buddy, you get hurt, they'll cut your ass in a minute. So it's every man for himself. I ain't mad at a player trying to get as much as he can while he can, because when they're done with you, they are done with you. I'll see you guys tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern.